In this video, I'll show you an easy way to troubleshoot the HTML and CSS on your website. Every browser comes with an inspection tool that shows you the HTML and CSS that make up every website. This tool comes with just about every browser, so if you're using something other than Chrome, the general idea should still apply, although some things might be different. Inspection is best used when something you made isn't looking the way you want or expect. It's a great way to figure out why something looks weird. Everything you change using the inspect tool is not permanent or saved, but it's a great tool to figure out what you have to do so you can do it. For this example, I'm going to use the footer on my website. As you can see, it's not filling out the full space that I want it to. I want it to actually stretch out to reach the edge of my sidebar here. So I'm going to start by right-clicking on the footer and choosing Inspect. And that brings up this little sidebar over here. Since I started by right-clicking on the footer, the first element that's selected up here is actually the footer. If I were to right-click on the navigation bar up here, it actually selects the UL inside the navigation bar, but I can go up a little bit to get the actual navigation bar itself. So it actually follows the exact same order as your website is coded. If I wanted to fix this owl, I could right-click Inspect and it finds it for me right away. I'll do the same for this fairy here. And I'll do the same for this image. It shows you exactly what you click on. So let's go back to the footer border. And let's look down at the style panel, which is here at the bottom. At the very top of the style panel, it says element style. Whatever properties you put into it will be applied to the element that's selected. So right now I have footer border selected. If I do color red, now the footer text is red. And if I want to remove it, I can just uncheck the box, which automatically comments it out. Like it's not even there. I know that whatever is causing my footer to look weird is probably one of these things: width, margins, or padding. So I keep an eye out for those properties first. The first element that I see is actually called footer, and I know that this is applied to the div that I'm looking at. It has a margin left of 60 pixels. If you hover over a property in this view, you can uncheck the box next to it to remove it. So let's see what it looks like when I remove the left margin. That's actually a lot better. It's not perfect, but it's an improvement, so I will keep that. But since it seems to go back a little bit, it seems to be a little bit too far left, I'm gonna recheck the margin left and change it to 5px. It's looking better, but still not totally lined up. You can play around with it here, which is kind of cool. So you can enter different numbers and see how it looks. Now that's a little bit too much, so I will go down to 10 pixels, and that looks perfect. These changes aren't real. You're just playing around with the website through the browser, so you need to keep track of the changes you do make so that you can go back and edit your site. In my example, I was modifying the footer class. It tells me in the top right corner of that section where that CSS is. It's in my index.html on line 91. Now I just go back there and change it by removing the margin left that originally said 60 pixels and replacing it with 10 pixels and then saving and publishing my website.